Hey everybody, this is Arturo Aguirre with a new video. This is going to be a long one. This is a character design video, but it's more of a idea development video because for some time now I've had the curiosity or the question of why don't people mix up the stories of King Arthur and Robin Hood, and if it has been done before, I apologize. I'm not aware of it. I am not familiar with that concept if it has been done before. But I decided to develop it in a particular way where I gender bent the Robin Hood character, and I just thought of it as it's the King of Camelot and the Thief of Sherwood, right? And that allows you. That's a unisex title, right? Thief is not male or female, so it can be either or. And I envisioned the relationship or the encounters between these two as a Batman Catwoman sort of thing, you know. I read recently. I bought Hush from Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee on Comixology, and I really enjoyed the relationship between Catwoman and Batman, and it's that sort of thing where Robin Hood is obviously she's a lady of the court, but she also moonlights as a thief from the Sherwood Forest. I mean, she's the Lady of Locksley, or Robin can be her name as well, but with a Y or something like that. And she gets hired by Morgana, or I've even thought about switching that up to have it be like a male villain as well, to steal the Holy Grail from King Arthur, who is also known as the Bear. I mean, that's where the name Arthur originates from, which is Bear Man, which is my name essentially, obviously in English, but in Spanish it's the same thing. Sorry, I had to do a quick edit there because my wife was calling me. And speaking of which, this whole concept is spawned from, I guess, the relationship between me and my wife. I mean, she's from England, and she's from Nottingham, specifically. So, like I said, she's the Thief of Sherwood that came and that flew into this country many years ago and stole my heart, you know. So that's where that concept is guided by that as well. Obviously. It's inspired by that. Anyways, in this case, she gets hired to steal the Holy Grail for the witch, or the man witch, or whatever, the witch doctor, and obviously Merlin and Arthur and his knights and everybody have to get it back, or something like that. I mean, I'm still working through the kinks. I was just focused on the relationship between the two main characters. She's the whole femme fatale, and she's an agent of chaos in this case, and obviously she's the fox. That also inspired by the Disney movie of Robin Hood from many years ago. And this part is the transition I made between Photoshop to Procreate. All these iterations on the characters were taken to Procreate. I wanted to show the whole process, like from beginning to end. I couldn't share the first few sketches that I did that helped me flesh out the idea in the beginning. But I figured, let me show the rest of it as much as I can, because it's not a 1, 2, 3 thing, and I keep changing and changing and changing, and I was like, I wasn't happy with how it was coming along. I mean, I got the result through, but I wanted something with more shape language, something a bit more simplified, something a bit more cartoony, but I guess not as cartoony as the image of the Three Musketeers. And obviously, with the iPad, I had the comfort of working on it from home this past weekend, and it gives you time to work it through, you know. I finally started landing with something in regards to the style and the pose, and you have to figure out what the armor is gonna look like and what the tunics are gonna do. You gather your reference, but even that is not, because I'm not using one particular image to help me through, you know. Working through the bear sigil, like I said, drawing into the bear and the fox, the legend of the bear and the fox. Kind of like the whole, you know, A Song of Ice and Fire thing, you know, but focusing on that, because they're both legends as far as I know. I mean, I haven't really investigated that too much, the legend of King Arthur and the legend of Robin Hood. So there is room to mix up the two concepts, you know. And here, as I was working on a thumbnail version of her design, I figured, well, let's give her a long ponytail that looks like a foxtail. That could have been exaggerated even more, you know, but that I don't work in that realm of anime where things are far more exaggerated. I mean, I play it a bit safer. And even in her design, I mean, I'm not focusing on her voluptuousness or her sexiness or this or that. That's not important. You know, that's not the main focus of the thing. I always liked the idea of the warrior king, you know, like Leonidas from 300. You know, somebody that just doesn't talk policy or things like that, but gets his hands dirty. And here I'm back in Photoshop using, like again, those Kyle brushes. I don't know the specific name of this one. I'll look for it and put a little subtitle there to let you know which one I used. But again, going with line art, then base colors, then shading on top. I mean, there are other methods of going either grayscale and or just painterly all the way from 0 to 60 from beginning to the end, but I didn't want that. You know, I'm happy with how I'm doing the line art. I feel I have a lot to learn there. I mean, I could emphasize the whole thick and thin more, but I really don't. And I should. I mean, probably. I hope I do that for the next piece I do. Trying to add the bear motif here and there. Obviously, on his cape, you know, on his belt, on little details on his boots and his hand armor, and making it different for each section. More inspired by Celtic artwork for some of the designs here, for especially for the design of Excalibur and the crown and a little bit of his belt. And I know I'm in the middle of finishing other projects, personal projects like Jason contra Gigantes, which I'm almost done there, or I'm very close to the end. But sometimes when inspiration strikes, you gotta take advantage of it, because it's not an everyday thing, you know. If you're working as an artist, you get the opportunity to draw every day, but you can't say that you're really inspired every day. So, for those special occasions, you work through it. You know, you make the time. I'm still learning with color. I mean, I'm not as skilled with color as I'd like to be. I did this sort of thing with another idea of a post-apocalyptic setting between a girl, two friends. One was a mutant cockroach, and the other was a young girl. The story was Rach and Roach. So I heard those two names in my head, and I was like, well, what would that look like? So I came up with the drawing, and I was pretty happy with how it came out. It was a long time ago, though. Gave him blue eyes at the beginning, but I switched it around. I made him dark brown, because that's my eye color. Obviously, I can't grow a thick beard at all, but this is not me specifically. I mean, my wife is not a redhead either, so you know. You take artistic or creative liberties here and there, artistic license. Added a watercolor texture on top of everything, and then worked the shading and the highlights under that. Anyways, this video is almost done. I'm very happy with how the idea was fleshed out. Obviously, everything can be improved, everything can be made better, but you know, you have to make a decision sometimes. Anyways, this is the final image. Like I said, I'm happy how the concept was fleshed out, how the final image came out, and hashtag draw this in your style. If I have time, I'll develop the concept more. Anyways, click on the logo to subscribe. If you want to see more videos, I hope to upload more videos more frequently. Okay? Here are more character design videos. Check them out and let me know what you think. Stay tuned for more. Bye-bye.